Start. All right. So the quick revision is right here. By the user datagram protocol generally, which we don't need to have any kind of application from acknowledgement. So the DNS and other things are example of this. So we have discussed in two way that this is my receiver end, this is my sender end, and the code we have right now for user datagram protocol is currently here. So this is my one machine. I am having 192.168.10.161. so that is my receiver, 10.161, and the sender machine, I'm just opening one new terminal here, it's 10.82. all right, so I'm using both machine as a local, 10.182. done. These are two positions. So I'm just checking my code what was on that time. So alright, the sender dot receive dot py have this kind of code here, socket import something, edit to port number, and it's printing back the result. And the sender code we have, I'm just making it the copy here under tmp location. I'm using send.py, paste back. The IP address I'm going to use here, that is my local again, $822 is the port number, and 192.168.10.161 is the IP address. Alright, so I'm just sending that date thing. Done. So see, because this is my virtual machine where my receiver code is there, IP address as of now is 161. I'm trying to run that receiver code with python6, and here on the sender end I'm running that code. See, the syntax is x1. alright, I can use python2 as well. See, so here we are receiving that date, right? So this is we had in the past. So I guess if you have any problem, then you got that solution and clarity, right? Now what we want to make actually by using socket programming, the project that comes in mind, the first one is our own cryptographic remote login server, right? Remote login. We want to code this. Cryptographic means this is my sender, this is my receiver. As of now, if the hacker is right here and you are sending something to your sender and receiver, to your receiver, hacker can have that man in the middle thing. I will show you this also, man in the middle thing, to read this data or programs. Alright, so I'll show you by using third machine where I'll boot everything in separately. So as of now we want to just secure this communication. So as of now what I'm doing, I'm changing that complete send to date thing with my custom message, that is raw underscore input. So because here, okay, in your session we are using Python 2, so here I'm using raw underscore input method to type data to send. All right, so raw input is the function in Python that is very much similar to scanf in C language for taking data from user, and I'm storing this into the variable let's say data, and I'm sending here that data thing. So data I'm receiving, data I'm sending. All right, so now here if I run that program python 3 with receive.py, and here I'm using send.this, so it's like hello, hi. The return message length is the length of data what we are typing, right? And here we have received this thing, the message with IP and port number of your client. So the client IP is 82 as per the diagram. Also, if you can check here, is that 82 only, right? The 82, and the server IP is 161. So what I'm doing, just to establish communication whenever we try to send data. Okay, cool. So it is receiving like this and this. So we want to separate the IP port number and the data thing. So what I'll do here in my this code, I'll go here, rather than printing, I'm receiving that data into a variable, let's say CLI or maybe client underscore data, right? And 100 is maximum buffer size, as you know already. So now I'm separating that the client data underscore data, 0 element is the data of client, and the client data 1 element is the IP and port number. You can see here this is tuple, the 0 element is data and the 1 element the IP and port. All right, so again if I'm sending okay in this way, data 0, so client underscore data, and it's 0 element, client data 0, client data 1. I guess it's correct, right? Use of tabs space. Okay, so I think I'm using more tab or more space. Yes. Yeah, and here hello, let's say. See, so we have received the data first, then IP and port. So if we want, we can like save all this data into some new file. So till now, whatever code we are writing here, I don't think so there is any problem with that, right? I mean, just want a very quick confirmation from message service that you don't have any problem with whatever I have written till here. So this is my client end code. Okay, B is a kind of binary code string. Actually there are 3 types of string in a Python: Unicode, base code and normal. So B is showing that this is base code raw string, right? Just a way of printing message in Python 3, kind of, you can say. All right, fine. So as of now, like, we have this now, because we want to create the server, right? So that if I'll give you that product with cryptographic approach, right, then you can type here the commands of Linux or Windows like date or cal or something, and that command must be executed this side, and the output must be going back to the receiver client end, right? So that we can have this kind of feature. One is this server, and we have number of people who can log in parallelly here and do their work as we are doing in SSH, or we are doing in telnet, or many other protocols. So we are creating our own protocol like this. All right, so fine. So what I'm doing in the sending end, I'm replacing that message with new thing, type your command. All right, so now I'm typing, let's say, date cal. So what is happening as of now, the date cal is being received by that receiver machine, but we don't want to receive actually, or we don't want to print like this. We want to execute that program in our own scenario or purpose. All right, so what we'll do, we'll receive that, and we are not going to print this time. We are testing. That means, let's say OS is the module in Python programming language. OS is the module, right, where we can use that client underscore data 0 element to run that program, right? What that means? That means if I want to run some data or message as an internal command in Python, so we have operating system as a module, right? We have operating system as a module. So that means if I'll check this one, right, I mean, operating system module is kind of library in Python which can directly interact with that operating system platform commands. So I have imported that OS library. Under OS library I have a system method, right? And the better word is like, I must save this, or maybe I'm using as of now directly. Fine, so let me do that, right? Let's say this time, who am I? So if I'll check, the answer is root. We are also receiving that 0 or something. That means if I'm typing anything like unwanted, so it's like this, command not found. So whenever the client will type the right command like this, it is going to execute as it is with the number 0, and if we are typing anything that is not present in the server or target machine, it is going to print the message like this and with some random number. So I mean, how many of you can tell me what is that number, the 0 or the random number? I mean, maximum people know about it, but still, exit code. Shanu saying exit code is there. All people, right? The number that is printing on the server side is known as exit code. So do I need to explain that exit code for everyone, or it's perfectly okay? Please. Exit code, I need to explain this, or it's perfectly okay? I want answer from everyone. Okay, I need to explain. Fine. So now what is that exit code? Let's say I'm typing one program, let's say date, in my current Ubuntu or maybe Red Hat based operating system, and that command is going to run under this platform. Whatever I am typing, it doesn't matter at all as a user, because who am I? I'm a user. I can type whatever I want. So if I type this instruction is going to pass to that operating system, and that OS is going to run that instruction. Now there are two possibilities, right? When we pass some instruction, it is going to run, and during runtime there are two possibilities. The one, that instruction can throw some error, and that instruction can execute successfully, right? So if the program without any error exists in this machine, it may be possible that it will be succeed or something. But the program does not exist, or program have some bugs inside it, so it is not going to run, right? How? See, let's talk about date one, right? So this is my kind of server machine where I'm typing this date, and it is running fine. All right, if I'll check with my operating system, is that program run successfully? So we can cross check the same thing by echo $? And remember that whatever output we are seeing here, it doesn't matter at all, that the success rate is going to be perfect. After typing any program or command, don't go for output, just go for this. This is the way in Linux based kernel you can check the success code, or in your terms exit code. If the exit code just after the program is 0, that means the program you have given here is success, right? And if I'll type any other command which does not present in your machine, so the exit code must not be 0. So it's, as of now, it's 27. So any number other than 0, like 127, whatever, right, other than 0 is error. All right, but in this case date is not present. But let's say if I'll check the file of date, so it is present under bin date. So what I'm doing this time, I'm going into this file and adding one line, let's say Adhoc, right? Adding one line only. Now if I'm typing this date, the right one, it is saying that cannot execute binary file, exact format error. If I check the exit code, it is 126. So this time program is present, but due to some internal logic or program, the system generating one exit code, that is 126. Again, it's not 0. Right? So because we have mixed some content under this file. If I remove that, let's remove that exact content and rerun again. Done. Exit code 0. So you got that exit code. Exit code will show you that your program was successfully executed on that platform or not. It doesn't matter program is already exist in your machine or it doesn't exist in your machine. Only exit code will explain you that program successfully run. Right? So I mean, did you got that success code? Of course, server side, right? See, the client is only typing that command and command is receiving server to the server end, and server is running command because server is the one who can serve the command. Client cannot run the command because client may have any other platform like Windows, maybe Mac, maybe something. So we are creating Linux based server here so that any client can execute the commands by typing from their own home, right? So in the server client architecture we have this. You are going to send that command and the command will going to execute here. This is receiver, that is server, this is sender here. Output is here right now, but we need to send that output to the client machine, right? So I mean, the exit code thing is perfectly okay for everyone. Just please confirm that exit code is really okay for everyone. Alright, so Himanshu, Rohit, Akash, right, okay. So that means this is how, right? So now if I again rerun that program, so if I'll type here from the client machine, let's say okay, let's say the command is pwd, command is kkk. So the pwd output is this with exit code 0 and sh output is command not found, right? As of now we want to like identify one thing. If command is not present, then we want to show some error message or some any other thing, right? But first of all we need to modify that code to next level. And what is that level? Now this is final thing in terms of writing. As a client or user, we are going to type that command from our system. The command is going to execute on the receiver end, that is also known as server. Alright, and for this we are using UDP protocol and we are binding current IP with 8282 port number. So our port number is 8282. Now this date or anything is receiving here by the program. Once we are receiving, we are using operating system library to run that program, right? After running this program, what is happening? The output is here on the server side. But what was the expectation of client? If the client is typing date commands, then he is expecting that output in his own terminal or own monitor or desktop, right? So we need to define this also, how the output is going to received by the client. All right, so we have done this part as of now the output is right here. Alright, we need to send that output to the client machine. Now if I'll check my server side code, what I can do here, the output I'm going to save in a variable, let's say out, rather than printing I'm saving this variable out. Now if I'll print that out variable, let's say what is happening, receive.py and let's say cal, right? So expectedly the output this side as of now, the cal with the exit code, right? But the reality is, if I'll send that output to the client machine, so what I'm doing, I'm using s.send to the out comma client underscore data and the one element. You know that what is one is the client data, one is the IP and port combination received in this variable, right? So because the 0 is the data, so we are using 0 here to run, and the client underscore data 1 is the IP and port number. So in server end, after storing this in out variable, we are sending back that out variable data to the client machine. Does it make sense for everyone? Right? I mean, it is making sense for everyone, or there is any confusion? Just a message, and whenever I ask question you must type that message. No sir, that means no confusion. All right, and in the sender end I need to actually, I don't need to print this thing. I need to print that x dot receive from 1000 character output. So this receive from will receive data of this send to. Alright, let's cross check it. Saving here, saving here. Alright, this, and now this. Let's say type your command. I'm writing here that who am I, very simple command. I'm sending that command. It is okay. What is the problem? The output is like an integer, right? So the out variable is an integer. All right, that means this is the variable. If I'll comment this and do one thing, printing that out and keeping that type of out. Fine. So let's say cat. Okay, I mean I didn't run that. command. So because this is Python 3, I need to make it the bracket parenthesis, that is right. What's the date? Fine. So here we have received that date with the exit code, and the class of this particular thing is integer. What do you think? That means we are receiving the output this and this, but still the type of data is integer. You're getting my point? I mean, as an output we are receiving this also, and we are receiving 0 also, but the complete type of data is integer. That means what is happening actually here, if we are receiving something in out variable, so we are not storing that output variable here, we are not storing that output here. The only thing is storing here is the exit code. That means the 0 is only data which is stored in that variable, so we got that type is integer, and the output that was automatically came when this module processed this data. When this module processes the data, the output automatically comes to the screen. I mean, does it making some sense? Let me repeat it one more time. We are storing here in a variable of the data whatever we receive. So once the system function is calling, it is executing that data, and the output automatically comes in the screen as we can see here, right? But the exit code of this output is stored in this variable, and we are printing that variable. That's why we are getting that 0, right? If I'll not print that variable, let's say I'm commenting this, alright, and check this out, right? I'm commenting this and I'm sending here again, let's say cal. So see, the automatic output is here, but we didn't receive that exit code, we directly received that class. If you check here, because I have commented that output but I have not commented that type, so we didn't receive 0, but we received that type. You are getting my point. Output is the variable in this module which will store only exit code part, not the output part. Does it making sense to everyone? Yes sir for Akash, for Rohit, Shanu. Alright, remaining people are not replying, so what I can calculate? Himanshu is also yes. Fine. So what we can do now, do we have such kind of any module in Python 3? You are saying that command is the module, so let me tell you one thing. If I'm using Python 2, right, I can use that command module, sorry, not command, commands module, it's commands module. But if I'm using Python 3, there is no command modules. That means I want to tell you Python 3 don't have any module like commands. Right? So now what we can do? Anybody? I just want an answer. Anyone? Python 3 don't have that command modules. So what we can do? Anyone? I mean, you can Google it also. So when do we have any answer? And you can call it like yes sir or no sir something. Anybody? No? See, there is one more thing. If I'm using in Python 3 like OS, right, and I'm using os.system and here typing any commands like this, so we are receiving the data and the exit code. Yeah, Himanshu is right, we can use popen. So in this scenario, if I'll use this thing, X is only storing that exit code. But inside OS, if we have popen thing, right, if you have popen thing, we can type some command under this, right, but the output is something like this, right? So here we can receive that into a variable X, and X can be easily streamed without any problem, right? So if X dot stream, stream is not callable, I guess, just a minute. Oh sorry, that X dot read, not stream, dot read. So we got that output, right? So the output is right here. So we can popen with the OS module, and we can save into variable X, and we can read this. I mean, does it making sense for everyone? I mean, if you have any problem, you can always ask me, but as of now, I don't think so you have any problem. Is it alright? Let me show you one more time. I'm using that os.popen, storing in a variable X, and I'm reading that variable like this. Otherwise, there is one more module in Python 3, that is subprocess, right? Under subprocess, there is method call. Inside call, you can use that, not cal, call, like this, right? And here if you want to store in a variable X, I mean the same problem here also, I guess. Oh, alright, so I mean, that means we can use that subprocess, or otherwise the popen. Fine. So rather than using os.system, we are using os.popen, and now we are using final underscore out is equals to out.read. So as of now, we can send that final underscore out to the client address. Alright, no problem at all. Alright, so I mean, does this making sense to everyone? I mean, everybody getting this particular line of code, whatever I'm writing here, it's perfectly fine. Everybody please confirm with the same thing, that we don't have any problem with this particular module. Perfect. Right, so yes, we are saving this, and as this side the code is right here, so let's do it now. I'm running this code, and here I'm running this code, python3 tmp send, right, typing command, let's say date. This time we are facing some problem, that is the type cmd is not string, expected something, class is byte. Okay, I mean, it's a good point, we are facing problem. Now what I can do, I can comment that line, and I can print the type of final underscore data to check what is the type of final underscore data, right? Right, and this time I'm sending from this machine, that is, let's say cal. So okay, I didn't run that code, fine, that cal or date maybe, and here we are receiving something very random, that we are receiving that data is expected string, but the type is like really invalid. Okay, but I think we are receiving that string also, right? So that me not directly write here under out or something. If I'll print that type underscore data 0 element, what is that type? Fine. So I'm just checking that type. Okay, it's final out. Maybe I can check that. Okay, final data I'm typing here. Alright. Fine. This, and here final out. Alright. And here I'm sending that code again. If I'll check, no, there is something. I guess you people can code this continuously. I mean, you can troubleshoot this and try it by own. Otherwise, in the next session I will recover this. All right. So I'm just uploading all this code to GitHub. You people can use your own mind to code the same thing. Get add dot commit -m as like commit and get push origin to master. So I'm typing that code. Yes, so it is being pushed here in this file. So you need to troubleshoot this. Tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow we have the same session and we'll continue. I need to go somewhere as of now, so we'll meet tomorrow, possibly, otherwise day after tomorrow. Fine.